Social media.
Social media.
What is it, Byron?
I mean, we're about to find out, aren't we? This is going to be like
So,
a short podcast.
Welcome. This is an amazing and very well thought out podcast.
Yeah, you know, definitely not just two guys who decided to just do.
It's a recording studio. You know, we got
yeah.
full soundproof walls. There's definitely not bags on the floor.
Yeah.
We're very well thought out.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah. All right. So, in today's podcast, it feels weird saying that, we're going to be
we do very many of these.
discussing the themes.
Yes, the themes of social media.
Yeah.
You see, a few of the things we're going to be discussing are the promotional channels that are social media, for example, posters, trailers, anything you kind of see regarding to a film.
We're also going to be talking a little bit about promotional campaigns, you know, what led some of the best, you know, highest grossing
interesting
films.
ones, fun ones, terrible ones,
yeah.
so on and so forth as you get it.
And, you know, it can't be something in 2021 without a little bit of controversy thrown into the mix.
Yes.
We'll be talking about things that, you know, maybe haven't been so great on social media, what social media is used for nowadays. You guys can kind of tell what we're talking about without us actually saying it yet.
Twitter.
Exactly. Alright, so let's just jump right into it.
Let's get into it, boys.
What is promotion?
Yeah,
So, what I think promotion is, and then we'll look up the actual definition. I think promotion is how you get your product across to somebody. You know, there has to be some sort of communication, be it through a trailer or a poster or something like that. And social media has definitely helped with that.
I agree. Like, obviously you've had posts in the past before social media.
Yeah.
But in the recent times, it's become a lot more intertwined with the growing population
It's
of
so
the internet.
much easier to consume the content that production companies are putting out now. Trailers are everywhere.
Almost too much.
Yeah, I mean, trailers are everywhere on social media now. You got pictures and videos on Instagram. You've got links and stuff on Twitter, Discords, YouTube. Like, it's everywhere. So let's have an actual look at what the definition is. At least what they think. Activity that supports or encourages a cause, venture, or aim, or the publicizing of a product, organization, or venture so as to increase sales or public awareness. So basically it's like, hey, we're gonna use a budget to try and sell this.
Welcome to a Goliath article. Here we go. This is my...
Alright, so first things first, do we trust Goliath?
Is that Goliath?
No, that looks like, was that Borat?
No, I trust Kale Harvard. Look at this man.
Hey.
He's talked about Halloween. He's talked about Will Smith. He's a trustworthy man. Let's have a look. Take us through, Byron.
Okay, so the 10 best movie marketing campaigns ever. So number 10 is apparently Paranormal.
Are we a review channel here?
Paranormal
Activity. Paranormal Activity. There we go. That's good. Paranormal.
Well, budget of 28 million. That's quite.
See, budgets are very important.
Oh
nowadays.
yeah, budgets go up and up and up with a weird correlation to when social media starts booming.
Yeah. So apparently, Paranormal discussed a lot of found footage style trailers. Found footage is something I really think is interesting nowadays. A lot of things do it both for promotional reasons and also to actually show it off. So let's have a look. Cool.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and watch the official trailer for Paranormal Activity.
Well, it's kind of sealed down about. I think this is actually not the official trailer. I think this is like an afterwards effect, but basically discussing how they use found footage and things like that. Oh, so they had like a screening for the film in Hollywood.
The audience was among us.
Oh. So they saw the film and they were very terrified of the film.
I like that, because it kind of gives it a more real feel, doesn't it? Also, I don't think I've ever seen a trailer quite like this.
Is this the trailer for the film?
Is this a trailer for the film?
Oh, so they showed to audiences made the trailer just the people watching the film.
Ah.
I'm guessing.
I mean, I kind of like it, because again, have you ever seen anything quite like this? Like,
It's unique. I'd say it was amazing.
Oh, the blanket is moving.
Byronite, you got a goddamn reaction channel. I've been saying this the entire time. I'm going to watch Mojo Top 10. Top 10 greatest, genuinely horrifying.
Genuinely horrifying.
It's fun to laugh at, but genuinely this for its time. As you can tell by its view count or anything like that, this film is very one in its kind.
Yeah.
Yes, interesting film.
All right, so let's
Let's have a look through them.
Did we read through that to see what it said?
Basically, it just includes directions, people screaming, jumping. So basically, they're kind of telling the audience, hey, you're going to be shit scared in this film.
So basically, they did it as a way to sort of say, hey, here's this really scary film. Here's people's reactions to our super scary film. Come watch our super scary film. So, should we move on?
Yeah, we can move on. We don't have to discuss all of these things.
Avatar. I mean, the highest grossing film. It still is now.
Though it does make me wonder, what was the advertising for Avatar? So they had no concrete visuals until films prior, whereas most large films. So essentially, it was like a mysterious film that had like barely any trailers. So in a way, it's kind of, interesting. It's an outlier.
Yeah.
Simply, with the amount of like over-the-top, plentiful fucking adverts there are nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, because, granted, I feel like it fits with the film, though.
Yeah.
Because the whole point isn't it, that the Avatar, the blue creature... I've never watched the film, you can tell.
What are they even called? Let's have a look at these blue men.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Avatar...
blue people there.
Blue man group. Yeah, blue man.
Blue man group.
Let's have a look. There we go. What? As you can see, here is the Avatar. There we go.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's what I call, that's the Avatar.
He looks a bit like Nicolas Cage, I won't
So
lie.
I consider this is where it was in the first trailer, I imagine. They just showed this to the screen, everyone was like, okay.
Yeah, like, you know, I think the whole point of Avatar was it was meant to be this mysterious world, wasn't it? So
yeah, there's a lot of interesting, like, I think what's good about trailers and things like that, there's a lot of variety to it. Marketing campaigns can be different. They can be found footage, they could be ARGs, they could just be straight up, here's my film.
yeah, so I will say I've looked into a lot of the highest grossing films.
Yes, yeah.
And
here's
a fun little factoid.
A little factoid for us. Oh, hello.
If we look at the highest grossing films of all time, you'll see why a lot of people regard James Cameron as one of the greatest film guys in just history.
Yeah.
Because Titanic, James Cameron.
Boom.
Titanic, was the highest grossing film.
Yeah.
Then it was Avatar.
Right.
Also James Cameron. Then Endgame happened.
This James Cameron's guy is basically just...
James Cameron knows what sells.
Yes. He knows what he's working with, especially.
It seems as though whatever he does, he really nails it, and that it shows with Avatar.
You see that? What?
Minions. Oh god, I can't be showing that. Oh dear. Oh dear.
But it's interesting to see that films like Avengers Endgame, which we'll get onto later, and Avatar, films that were marketed. Well, they were less marketed. Avatar, he went into it like it was a whole well-known series already.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it stick, is that he went into it as in the viewers already knew what was happening.
But to be fair, he's already apparently said that Avatar 5, 6, 7, and 8.
I don't even know, man.
We still had Avatar 2. James Cameron.
I'll watch it.
If for some reason you are listening to this right
I know less is more, but please.
Tell us when, not Titanic 2, Avatar.
I mean, either. Maybe not Titanic, so it's a bit sad.
I mean, Titanic 2, how's that going to work? They relaunched the ship or something. Alright, let's move on. So, I think,
Let's go on to Instagram.
Let's go on to Instagram.
What would you consider some of the biggest kind of
what the fuck? Bro, we're on my Instagram.
Women!
Women.
We're not here for that. Get off that, dumbass.
So we go to Marvel. Marvel,
yeah, how do they advertise their campaigns on?
I've always wanted to know how Marvel sell their stuff. So Hawkeye Official starts streaming. So
Disney Plus.
It's a Disney Plus thing. We will get onto Disney Plus a bit later.
I suppose we will. I'm guessing what they're going to do is they just highlight a lot of the things from the film. It's about daily promotion. I think it is. A lot of films I see nowadays, every few days or every day counting down. Even the games, Nintendo do it a lot. They count down the days to it to kind of remind the viewers constantly, hey, this is coming out, this is coming out. A lot of films do this kind of week down or.
Oh, hold on.
Oh yeah, here's where they showed off a lot of their. Basically, the big thing they showed off a lot of the new shows.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, just by showing the logos, you're instantly generating.
I get it, but also it's kind of boring to me. But it's kind of just like throwing a logo in my face. I don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
But you can see it there, like 1 month.
So we're only a month in. Oh my god. Is there a way I can just cheat and look up Avengers Endgame Instagram?
As you can see, it's just a lot of they post a lot.
A lot of logos. It's a lot of logos. But yeah, it looks like it's a lot of videos, a lot of content, and I think that's one of the keys now. You know.
So what's interesting to me is Ryan Reynolds, for example. He did a lot on the Free Guy. Obviously, people like this have their own Instagrams, their lives, but it makes me wonder, like, do they promote on their channels? I mean, oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Like,
alright.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds is one of those guys that's just happy to promote any project he's working on.
Yeah. You know, if he's making a film, he's made his own film. He's done it.
Oh, can we talk about how that blew up? The Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell thing. Late to the Grace, using TikTok. The
TikTok, yeah.
Alright, okay, so I think now that we've spoken about how Instagram is sort of like that place where you can just bombard people with.
It is. I'd say it's below Twitter though.
Yeah, it's more of a creative bombardment because you have to put pictures in with every single one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at TikTok. So, the one thing I think we want to talk about with TikTok. Oh my god, what the?
You're not even logged in.
I'm not even logged in.
Anyway, ignore the women.
Ignore the women. Alright.
Stop our heads. Alright.
What are these? What?
So from the Instagram, we go onto the You're okay there?
I'm good.
From the Instagram, we go onto TikTok, and as you can see immediately, there's more than one.
Yeah, which I think is also a good thing.
Let's go on to the official Marvel channel. As I'm wondering, do they even advertise? I don't know. Is that advertising? I'm intrigued. Stop. What the
Oh my god.
I like him.
Yo, let's go.
Alright,
okay,
alright.
so you got stuff from like Marvel Spider-Man 2, so they don't only promote film, they promote game, but we're focused on film.
There's actually not a lot on this account, surprisingly.
Strangely, maybe it's in the Marvel Studios one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Oh.
So this was...
They promoted it for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
What I'm guessing is that the Marvel's not really... What's another big... Blue Sky, for example. Let's look at Blue Sky. What's a Paramount? Is Paramount gonna count? Is TikTok not that big of a place I thought it was gonna be?
See, I thought because with like the
They got Paramount Plus, which is another streaming service that's actually got a lot of controversy.
865,000 followers.
But I think that is promoting it. So as you can see, it's got bloopers
yeah,
from shows.
so...
See, it's some good bloopers from shows. It's kind of showing back to the scenes stuff, or... I wonder if there are any trailers. No, it seems to just be kind of a population of...
So, my hypothesis was wrong.
But in the same way, it's still promotion. They're promoting things even after the film came out. It's kind of like a secondary bit.
Now, I'm going to tell you something.
Yes, you are.
I feel like there's a gap in the market then.
There's a gap in the market then.
There's a short...
But again, the thing about TikTok is that it kind of promotes itself.
Yeah.
If I just type in, what's the new Spider-Man? Is that one?
Is it No Way Home?
No Way, I don't know. No. Okay, well we're not...
I'm not logging into TikTok right now.
Anyway, so The Rock.
The Rock might promote... Like, The Rock promotes his stuff.
As you can see, he's now promoting an energy can.
Yeah, it's his own...
I mean, it is promotion.
Zoa Energy. It's his own energy can.
You know, he's an actor. He is an actor. He's been in Jumanji. I wonder if he promoted... Oh, so he won't even find it. Okay, here we go. See, look, he's promoting Jumanji.
So, I think one of the big things is we are slowly returning back to shorter form content.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you'd want something long. Maybe back, like, 10 years ago? You'd want something quite long, quite, lengthy, explanatory. Nowadays, you just want something short and simple because everyone's days are so busy now. Like, it's hard to find time for long form content. Oh, Twitter, it cannot be reached.
Oh.
It doesn't want us. It doesn't want us to go on here.
Let's try again. There we go. As you can see, there's a whole tab on Twitter for promotional channels.
We're gonna use Marvel again. Women of Marvel. So 12 minutes ago. Okay, so we just caught them. How do comic book editors make sure Marvel reflects the world outside our windows? So the Women of Marvel podcast. Damn, we just promoted a podcast on the podcast.
That's where
There you go.
There you go.
Right
Live
there.
feed.
It's. Oh, okay.
No, Marvel Twitter's full of trailers, interesting, even still kind of short form, surprisingly.
It's short. Like, look, 1 minute 50. I know it's quite long, but
Yeah.
like, it's not super long.
They're engaging with their audience a lot, which I think is really important.
Yeah. So there's also
Showing behind the scenes things.
another thing. A 30-second.
For Hawkeye again.
18 seconds for Shang-Chi, but that's because that's already been out on.
Yeah, it's going to show them it's out now.
Yeah. 1 minute 20 for Hawkeye.
Again.
So again, it's a lot of short form content that's meant to catch your eye. It's meant to get your attention. It's meant to get you talking, which we just did with the Women of Marvel podcast. So yeah, I think that's all we're going to talk about in terms of promotional channels.
Let's have a look at some new stuff. So let's have a look at the YouTube trailers for Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
That is something that we need to.
I want to look at the views, kind of.
So we've looked at one trailer.
Maybe things like hashtags or anything like that. What if there's any? Because I know a lot of things nowadays have hashtags that they spread around Twitter. For example.
Avengers Endgame trailer. So 250.
So that's the Infinity War trailer. The Infinity War's big.
Yeah. I think we should look at this one. So it's the big one before the big one, you know?
It's the one where Iron Man was sad.
He was
And
sad
not
in
dead.
both of them.
No, you're right.
But
It's really interesting how they do this, because this film really is the most important thing to their franchise.
how long was this? This was 2.5 minutes. So this was meant to sell their story. Like, this was meant to sell the film.
And in the comments, they have also links to all their socials. More importantly, they have like a quote. When we head back to this one, the Endgame trailer had similar part of the journey to the end. They always have this little quote in the bottom, which is kind of like it's almost like a tagline.
It's a nice, snappy tagline that you can add to a video or something that you can put on constant media posts. And you can be like, oh, I remember that. So I think one of the big things with YouTube is, whilst it is still short form content, keep it to that like 2.5 minutes, it's a little bit longer than Twitter, than Instagram, and definitely.
Well, it's almost like the hub. Twitter things linked to YouTube, for example.
YouTube is a platform for videos, so of course there's going to be bigger, longer videos on YouTube. Like, look, this was quite a big thing. Everyone was like, what was happening?
Why is Iron Man dead?
And then you see the snap and it reminds you.
It's iconic.
So, now that we've spoken about all that is good with social
Time to look at some
media,
negatives. Let's look at some articles.
I think
maybe
we need
some
to.
opinions.
I think we need to talk about the controversies that have heavily impacted films,
Services, companies.
Yeah.
Well, we've put on the hitch of Marvel, and Marvel's a part of Disney.
And yeah, I mean, speaking of Disney, you've got Disney Plus now.
Right.
It's a good streaming service, and streaming services is another big thing.
They're almost getting to. There's so many of them nowadays.
There's so many of them that it's almost like it's a fight for monopoly. Someone's gonna eventually monopolize.
And I think stream service is definitely the future of film. Because it's almost like an in-your-home theatre.
I think we need to talk about a recent controversy. So if we look at this, so if you want a little bit of context, Mulan was like the first film released strictly on Disney Plus.
But what we're looking for here is Disney Premiere
Access. Let's have a look and see if we can find some articles on this. Every Disney Plus release.
High Screen Rant. Thanks for making our podcast better.
High Screen Rant. You're.
Well, Luke, that film was great.
So, while Disney Plus's Premiere Access was originally received as a clever adaptation to COVID-19 restrictions, controversy around this new release model have begun to surface, with Black Widow star Scarlett Johansson announcing her lawsuit against Disney. Discussions surrounding the effects of Disney Plus's release model have been front and center, but the Marvel film is far from the streaming service's only controversy. So what that tells me is that this streaming services are going to eventually lead to a massive shift in how actors and production companies receive revenue.
Yeah, see, when it comes to... I agree with it in a way, but I also feel like adding another set of subscriptions above the model itself is a bit...
It's a paywall behind a paywall.
Which I don't really agree with. As I was saying earlier, there's so many stream services nowadays.
Yeah.
It's hard not to pay for any of them.
Like Netflix don't make you pay.
How much was Mulan first?
Wasn't it like $29.99 for Premiere Access?
£20. And
20?
I gotta kind of get it. DVD, even a DVD would probably cost you a lot less.
Yeah,
I feel like...
Oh, that's where I got the $29.99 from. It's dollary doodahs.
I get it, but I feel like even if you shouldn't release it for that much of a price. Especially if you want to really, like chokehold your viewership.
Let's look at the actual controversy surrounding Black Widow.
Okay.
After Black Widow's release on July 9th, Scarlett Johansson announced that she would be filing a lawsuit against Disney over the film's hybrid release, delayed from its original May 2020 release date, which I do remember. The first film of Marvel's Phase 4 was released in theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access simultaneously. The lawsuit, which was filed in the Los Angeles Superior Court, alleges that Disney broke Johansson's contract by not giving the film an exclusive theatrical release.
I'm guessing that the pay cut of Disney Plus was too much for them to actually give it up.
Yeah. I mean that's
which goes to show how much they make from it.
That's Disney's problem. That's not anybody else's problem, though, isn't it? Like, if Disney aren't reading the contracts of their people, of companies that they've bought, then that's an error on their end. So Johansson's pay relied heavily on box office profits, with promised bonuses if benchmarks were reached. The lawsuit states that Disney intentionally prevented her from receiving these bonuses by releasing the film on Disney Plus at the same time, and allegedly refusing to renegotiate her contract beforehand, potentially costing the actress up to $50 million. Yikes.
I think it goes to show a lot of how streaming services have become so mainstream nowadays, and how they would even go as far as to undercut their own actors just to earn the profit they can make from it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, isn't everything that Disney do for money?
Well, you could see it that way.
Like, what they own Fox, they own Marvel.
What don't they own?
True.
But in terms of controversies, I'd say
this isn't like super controversial in terms of consumer. The consumer's still watching the product. This is more an actor controversy, and I can understand maybe people on social media aren't happy. You know, if you're a fan of Scarlett Johansson and maybe you're a fan of her. Yeah. You don't want to see her getting undercut. You don't want to see her contract essentially being breached because of that. And I wouldn't want to see any actor be essentially screwed out of what's written on a contract that they've signed.
When it comes to social media itself, though, there's obviously a lot of examples of people who have been done over by social media. And again, it's not usually social media's entire fault. Social media is more of a bandwagon, I'd consider.
You got stan culture.
Yeah.
And more importantly, cancel culture.
Cancel culture.
And I will say this. I know there are opinions. Allow me to say my stance. I think Twitter is a bad platform for cancel culture. Because it's just so many people dogpiling on one little bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
But I feel like if cancel culture was handled in any other way, I think it would actually be quite useful.
Right.
I think what the problem is that people will look at that. They will say, okay, I'm not going to buy this person's products anymore. I'm not going to support them as a creator, as a filmmaker, or anything like that. And that's fine. You're totally valid for having that opinion. That's completely fine. But it's when you start forcing others to do it and you start harassing people for
it feels like it's almost like a minefield where people they do one wrong thing. If they don't do a wrong thing, they could even be out for the wrong reasons. See, there's a whole thing with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, which is kind of awkward to talk about, but they had a divorce they had, right?
It's quite a rocky thing. So if we look it up,
and there are a lot of accusations thrown out, and people kind of went to Amber's side first when in reality it came out that a lot of the time that Johnny Depp was actually mostly innocent, right? And now a lot of the internet was very much against him.
Oh, and now look at that, Discovery Plus.
What the hell is that? Another one.
Is it? It probably is, honestly. Discovery Plus.
I've never heard of that in my life.
It's a streaming service.
Who's using Discovery Plus? Have a look.
Who's using Discovery Plus? Hold on. I think this is a UK thing.
Must be Lady Gucci.
Death War. Also, it's like reality TV stuff.
Yeah.
So, I can kind of get it if you want one place for reality TV. I can see why people would choose it. Let's read this. So, Discovery Plus is to tell the story of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's relationship breakdown.
They made a documentary already.
The celebrity court
decade,
case
for the
of
first
decade when first introduced Deppside, how he felt he was married to a Machiavellian. Jesus Christ. No, it's not. Machiavellian
Yeah.
means cunning, scheming, and
hell is that?
unscrupulous.
Oh, Byron, you sure are a Machiavellian one?
Oh dear.
Oh my.
Damn, we out here using words from the 1800s. Good God. Who would stop at nothing to protect her image. Before Heard's episode explains how the actress married the man of her dreams only to see him turned into a violent drug-fueled monster. So the documentary will feature interviews with lawyers on both sides along with people close to the pair and extensive archive.
I want to know the actual drama itself.
Yeah, I want to know the juice, the deets. Divorce solicitor.
But essentially what happened was there was a lot of arguments and a lot of it came out on Twitter and
Yeah.
Johnny Depp lost his place in a lot of films.
Because of the Twitter outrage, and that's,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it now, it's purely cancel culture
I
in
agree.
full swing.
I feel like if it's a situation like this, first of all, it shouldn't even be public.
No, this is something that should be settled privately between the parties involved in the courts, and
Yeah.
then once it's all dealt with and once you can give an actual, should we say, intelligent answer to the whole situation, then it should be revealed publicly to
I
the
feel
people.
like the consequences for both of them were
Yeah.
not really deserved.
No.
Obviously, I feel like the both of them kind of just needed to calm themselves down. And what happened was Twitter kind of, for them seeing themselves on Twitter being cancelled or whatever like that, it's going to make the situation even worse for them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like social media helped them at all. And I feel like every one of them was a victim to it.
But it's very difficult to kind of be on one person's side because you don't know who to believe. And that's the problem with cancel culture is as soon as one person says something, without giving the other person or the parties involved a chance to...
Social media, it's an echo chamber.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's great, you know, you can spread your movie around, you can get all the promotion you need, but one wrong thing goes wrong, and, well, you know, you get this whole swimming log of just more and more built up anger, frustration for anyone that could ruin a film, ruin an actor, ruin even more bigger than just the film itself.
Yeah. Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I feel like that's slowly losing people.
I feel like a lot of them are. It's almost like TV all over again. In the past, TV, you know, so many things you had to buy so many cables that people just pirated it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. Pirating is becoming needed, almost.
Yeah.
Pirating is never good. If it's a time where pirating is more easily accessible than the actual thing itself, or it's not actually physically, financially possible.
If it's more easily accessible, and it also performs better than the actual thing, then of course people are going to turn to piracy at some point.
Yes.
Like, no matter how illegal it is, if it does the job better than the thing that you're meant to be paying for, you're more than likely going to do it.
Yes.
So, I think in conclusion, what role does social media have in
Social media is
production?
very important in terms of film nowadays. You don't get a film without ads, without trailers, without posters, without anything related to them. Even things that haven't even come out yet, as you've seen on Disney's Instagram,
Yeah.
they get titles thrown up, they get a little, hey, this is coming. You don't get a film without an advert.
Exactly. Like, I think the role of social media is now, it's essentially
It's integral, they're intertwined deep to the core.
it's the town crier. It tells everybody what's happening. It's the way in which a film lives and dies.
It's
which
not new either. Like,
No, like it's not even like
the
a
days of like internet and trailers, they go back to newspapers, posters, and it's a lot bigger nowadays. You wouldn't just find a film in your local theatre, you know, newspapers flying around the street. You get it on your feed or your TikTok page. We're talking about the film.
exactly like the ways in which you can be exposed to new films, new content has evolved so much, but it's always been there since social media.
And the same way, I feel like the amount of films there nowadays.
Yeah.
There's so many big films that are just readily available to you that it's so much harder to find old niche films. For example, you'd have to like go to a whole film fair if you want to find, you know, recent indie actors like indie.
Yeah.
It's become such a like clustered space that it's, I don't know, I feel like the future is either through streaming services or there's going to be a whole new revolution for it. I hope to think there would be.
I feel like social media may lead to something either big or like big for the film industry, whether it's good or bad,
Yeah.
something is gonna happen with social media, and maybe like the next, I'd even argue the next year or two, that's gonna completely change the way in which films are presented, distributed, promoted, etc. And we're already seeing it. Right?
I consider it still in its infancy.
Yeah, it's this short form
Yeah.
content that just us as a society are slowly going back to.
Yeah, no, conclusionary points. I do believe that social media has a very big important role, and though it does have its downsides, there are very many of them, some we haven't even said.
Yeah.
I feel like, in a way, social media is integral. And if you're making a film without a poster, without a trailer, or you're going to transfer it through word of mouth, you're kind of doing it wrong.
I don't think it's wrong to argue that social media is the promotion channel.
I agree.
Like, granted, you're still probably appealing to like older folk who probably don't use technology as much as we do, with like newspapers and stuff. But
Even.
the main thing, like and this is something I'm about to blow everyone's mind.
Okay, you're going to blow me away.
The demographics. Those 18 to 49 demographics in terms of TV are like the ones you go for.
Oh, yeah.
What do most 18 to 49-year-olds hold with them every single
phone.
day of their lives? A
Goddamn
mobile
phone.
And what do you have on your mobile phone?
You've got yourself a YouTube, you've got yourself a Twitter.
An Instagram,
If it's
a
friendly-
Facebook.
In the same way as pirating is easily available, what is easily available?
Social media.
It's
Like-
the same damn thing.
It's literally, social media has literally become the way in which everyone and everything connects to each other. So I think before we go on even more rants and
Okay.
more raves,
Okay.
I think we're going to end this here. It's been a long podcast. It's probably going to get condensed
Insert
down.
royalty-free jingle ending.
Yeah, and we'll probably not see you for another one.
I think I'm cancelling this show.
It's being cancelled already. God
No
damn.
cancel culture!
No!
Ah!